I was on the plane one time. We was flying somewhere, and I sleep with my mouth open. And Ray poured hot sauce down my mouth while I was sleeping.
What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Mark Haynes from ClutchPoints, and this is Year One Podcast. And today, some of you young guys that that follow us and that might be watching right now, you might not remember this toy, but I'm sure my next guest might have remembered this because I think it was made after him. It was a toy called Mr. Bucket, and they had a little catchy song. And this guy right here was, I think they might owe him some money. This is Michael Red, the walking bucket from Milwaukee. He played in the Milwaukee Bucks. How's it going, bro? Thank you for coming.
Man, I'm glad to be here, buddy. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the first question I usually, try to just get something out there that we could see if we could trust you and we could believe what you say. And I'm gonna go to, which I believe was your career high game against the Utah Jazz. You scored 57 points. Not too many people scored 57 points in the NBA, but it ended up in a very, very close loss. And all I want to know is what was going through your head at that time?
Oh, it's one of the most painful losses I've ever had, actually. I think I cried, man, or just that, because you pour your heart out and you play so hard, obviously to win. And it was a career night and you lose, right? So it was a devastating loss for me. Probably one of the worst losses I've had in my career, actually. And that's the one thing I do remember from that night is that although it was an incredible night for me individually, our team lost, the buzzard, basically.
Yeah. And that would have been, you had a shot for the game winner. It would have been 6.
Right.
Even nicer. Yes. So all right. I think that sounds like an honest answer or whatever. So I think we could move forward with this test. So, all right, you ended up being a second round draft pick, even though you tore it up in college at Ohio State. I actually recorded with one of your fellow Ohio State guys in Greg Oden. He's on that.
Yeah.
So Buckeyes.
My boy.
So you ended up going second round. Why do you think that was so? Because I know you a lot of people thought you would be a first round pick because you did tear it up in college, but you ended up going second round. Why do you think that happened?
I have no idea to this day. George Karl, who was my coach in Milwaukee, and Ernie Brunfield, who was the GM at the time, when I got to Milwaukee, they saw me practice and play. They were like, how did you slip to us this far? Literally, that's what they said. I was like, I have no idea. So it was all part of the plan of God, I believe, ultimately. Practically speaking, I don't know. I had incredible career at Ohio State. We won, we had success. And then when the draft came, I don't know what happened, man. I mean, there was a lot of great wings that came out at my position at that time. Q Richardson, Desmond Mason, Morris Peterson. So we had a lot of great wings. I kind of fell through the cracks. Yeah,
and you ended up being the top. So during I don't remember then how they did the draft, but I know you expected to go first round, leading into the draft. So at that time, were they inviting people, to be at the draft to do the stage thing? They were doing that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. People were invited to the stage. I never got an invite, so that was an indication right there. Like, I'm not your top lottery pick, which was okay. My whole mentality too, Mark, was like, once I got drafted, although it was the second round, I was disappointed. I was with my dad upstairs doing the draft party, and I wanted to be away from the people because it was so embarrassing and like hurtful. But my mentality shifted from, man, I'm a second round pick to like, I got drafted. How many people get drafted? Right. And I think that mentality kind of propelled me throughout my whole career.
And so now you drafted. I want to know, and you got a little money in your pocket at this time. It's not the big money yet, but you got some money in your pocket.
Right.
Sure, at that time, that was the most you had.
Oh,
What was the first big purchase you made that you regret, if you remember?
regret. Regret. At that time, I was really doing a lot for my family at that time. My family didn't have much growing up as a kid. So, checks were going back to the family, and make sure they were taken care of. So, I don't know. I didn't really splurge a whole lot. We had guys who were making big bucks on the team at the time. Regret, I bought a Movado watch for like $600 at the time. I thought I was on top of the world, man. I was like, I got a Movado, and it was like $600, $700 or whatever. I guess that was for me at my level splurging, but yeah, back then, it wasn't what it is now as far as the money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I had to live and taxes and fees and things of that nature. So you're not making any big purchases.
Right. And then you came out as a junior, so you're a little more mature. A lot of these guys now coming out freshmen,
Yep.
so not that smart a guy at the or responsible of a person.
Sure.
All right. So, what do you remember being that's crazy? You got drafted to Milwaukee. That was an actual great locker room with veterans and youth as well. You have Sam Cassell, Rayford Alston, Glenn Robinson, and a lot of young people won't know this guy, but young Ray Allen, not not just a shooter, young Ray Allen. What was it like being in the locker room with those guys?
Oh, it was so much fun. They were so much fun. These guys you watched on television, just a year before, and as a kid, high schooler, and you playing with them, and it's like, wow, like watching their habits off the court, watching their habits on the court, the level of professionalism, the work ethic behind the scenes, watching how surgical Glenn was, Big Dog Robinson was. You knew he was gonna get 22 points. We just book it every game. Ray Allen, how surgical he was, his preparation. I spent a lot of time with Ray my rookie year, and him and his family. I spent probably half my time at his house, learning from him, and it was really incredible because you think about young guys when they come into the NBA, their careers are usually shaped by the veterans that they have there on that team.
Yep.
So for me, I had Lindsey Hunter.
Yep.
Had Irvin Johnson, not Magic Johnson, but the other Irvin Johnson, big fella.
Big man.
Jason Caffey, who played with the Bulls, who won championships with the Bulls. Darvin Ham. So I had all these great veterans who really wanted me to do well, pour into me and spend time with me. So it was a year of just learning. Although I didn't play, I just learned and stayed in the weight room. And, I would get there I would be there at the gym probably at 8 o'clock till about 5 or 6 every day. That was my day. Like just hitting the weights, working on my game, because at the time there was no G League.
Right.
So you could get cut and go to the CBA at that time. So it was a different flow then. So I was scratching and clawing, man, just to make the team, obviously, and then also eventually make an impact, on that franchise.
Yeah. So you never, in coming off the bench and working your way into the lineup eventually, turning into an all-star. You never, kind of doubted yourself or wondered is this gonna be me? Am I gonna be a bench player? Or, did you would turn into the Michael Redd we all love?
Yeah, I did. For me, you better have confidence and you better have belief in self, because you're in sharks' waters, and if you don't have no confidence, you're out of here. And so for me, although I was in awe of how great these guys were, I'm trying to kill them in practice. I'm trying to go at their neck, and I'm getting tip dunks. I'm playing hard. I'm challenging Ray in practice every day, getting buckets, and just having that inner belief because I put the work in. I was there 2 hours before practice. I was there 3 or 4 hours after practice. So that confidence from those work ethic times was going to spill over in those practice times. And so I had the ultimate confidence in myself, no matter what the situation looked like, that I was going to prevail somehow.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, you and Ray Allen was close, especially in that year. What's something that surprised you about Ray Allen and being his teammate?
I think just how professional he was. Even at that age, he was very professional. He was about his health, his nutrition. His work ethic was incredible. Although his natural shooting rhythm and all that is just awesome, but he worked at it. And the way he handled himself was just pure professionalism. And yeah, it was amazing to watch and see. Of course, we went out to dinner and we have fun and whatnot, but like for the most part, he was big on sleep, and just, when you see guys perform on the court, you're like wondering what goes into that performance. Right. And so I was able to see the behind the scenes of what people saw on the court with all the great performances that he had. It was like, oh yeah, I know how he got there.
Right. And you had all these veterans, great teammates, but the next question I want to ask about is, did they put you through any rookie hazing or anything during that year?
Absolutely. Carry all the bags, Mark. Get the donuts before practice. I was on a plane one time. We was flying somewhere, and I sleep with my mouth open. And Ray poured hot sauce down my mouth while I was sleeping. Back then, my fashion game was college level, Midwest dress. So I used to wear zoot suits to the games. They used to throw my suit in the middle of the floor and clown me, man, because of how I dressed. And then ultimately, George Karl got me about 6 suits because I didn't know how to dress or whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna buy you 6 suits, man. And he took care of me, and then Ray would give me stuff along the way, whatever. But like it was funny, man. But I took it the way you can take it. You should take it. Because if you take it, at some point they'll stop.
Right.
And so, halfway through the season, it kind of like died out. And then they wound up loving me, man. Because I took it and I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't bitter at the hazing. I just took it. And yeah, they actually made me too, Mark, sing my school song in diapers.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Oh man, it was embarrassing. we were at a bar, and all the waiters and waitresses, and it was. But I vowed to carry on the tradition, and I carried on the tradition as I got older.
That's good stuff right there, man. I love it. Play 6 games your rookie season, and want to see if you remember your first points and what's going through your head at that time.
Wow, first points. Woo.
Yeah, that's always the tough one.
That's a tough one. Maybe Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte. I know preseason. I remember preseason for sure. I was so nervous to go into games. George Karl in the preseason, we played in Boston, and Ray had to get in the game. I'm on the end of the bench. Ray, get in the game. I pulled my warm-ups off and I tripped in front of everybody. Just because I'm just nervous and anxious to get in the game or whatnot. But first point though, man, that's a great one. I knew we played Miami that year at the end of the year, and I had a lot of shot attempts in that game against Eddie Jones in Miami at the time. I don't even remember all the games I played my rookie year. Maybe Charlotte. I don't remember. Do you know?
I meant to look it up, but I didn't figure it out. I know it was towards the end of the year. I know you scored a total that year of 13 points. So yeah, I knew it would be tough. And wow. You played 6 games, and then your second and third year, that's when you started
Right.
Getting it in and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to research that.
I have to too.
Yeah.
It's funny, my dad taped every game I ever played in.
Wow.
All the NBA games I ever played in, all the college games I ever played in. My dad has it in the vault. When he wasn't at the games, he was taping all the, and then when he was at the games with me, he taped all the games at home. He made sure all the games were taped. I have like a stack of video VHS tapes at my parents' house because he taped all the games. So I'll find it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, a good time. But you was finally on the board. That was like you arrived. And another thing we all dream about is being on a video game. And when you was a rookie, that's when, for me, I think NBA Live was the game there. It wasn't 2K yet. But what was it like for you to see yourself on a video game?
Oh, it's surreal. It's surreal. It's I played video games a little bit as a kid and a teenager. I never got into it. I never got into Live in 2K. My son, he does now. I'll tell you a quick story about my son. He was like 4 or 5 playing 2K. And I said, son, it's dinner time. We got to go downstairs and eat dinner. He's like, nah, Daddy, I'm playing. I'm in the middle of this game. He was like 4 or 5. I said, son, it's time to go eat dinner. Come on, man. Let's go. He said, Daddy, I'm playing with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm playing with Michael Redd. I was like, you mean Daddy? He's like, no, I'm playing with Michael Redd. Michael Redd's killing on here. I said, he couldn't connect at that time. That was his dad. It was so funny, man. And it was like still to this day, like people come up to me and say, man, you're a 98 on 2K. It's like, I don't even know what that means, but like, thank you. It's humbling, man. It's a humbling feeling, man, that people celebrate you.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. But I'm gonna throw in one quick question. Well, actually, because this gonna be a little awkward. I'm gonna let you know already. But I just got a sponsor for the podcast, and we're sponsored by Manscaped. And I'm not sure if you're aware of Manscaped.
We'll take the sponsor. We'll take the sponsorship.
Yeah, for the sponsorship or whatever. But I've literally never asked another man this question before in my life. But do you manscape?
I do not. I had an NBA player, lie to you not, and it was in a shoot around in Orlando. And Desmond Mason would know who this person is because he was right next to me. And the teammate asked me, he said, man, do you shave your legs? Like, do you like really shave? Like he was intrigued with my legs. I was like, wow, that's an interesting question right before the round starts. So I put that question on that level. But I've never, I don't manscape. To answer your question directly, you said it was gonna be awkward.
And this is the first episode that's sponsored by us. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna throw it in there. And yeah, it's manscaping for you guys who don't know. It's just being able to take care of your body. It could be your legs, it could be your chest, and your adult parts if needed. They have a special razor, or not razor, that's saying dangerous, clippers, like edgers that they don't cut you. It got all that, and they have deodorants, which is cool and weird but cool, but a lot of stuff. And if you guys want to purchase something from manscaped.com, you can use my discount code, which will give you 20% off, and the discount code is just year1, year ONE. That's it. And Mike, if you ever decide you need something, we can get some sent out to you, bro.
I'm going straight to you, Mark. I'm going straight to you, brother. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yes, sir. And if you want to shout out your Instagram handle, or if you got anything going on and stuff, go ahead and knock yourself out.
My man, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, and this is Mark Haynes. Checking out with Michael Redd. You can follow him on Instagram. Are you on Twitter?
No.
So you can follow him on Instagram And look up his highlights. When I say this man was a walking bucket, this guy he was just that, Mr. Bucket. And this is year one, Clutch Points, and we out.